Hello and welcome to the Asian Development Bank's Energy Investment Forum for the CAREC region. I'm Nisha Pillay, and it's my great pleasure to be your moderator at this important meeting. Since 2016, the Energy Investment Forum has become a well-established tradition within the CAREC Energy Programme. Its goal is to bring together the key players to promote investment in the energy sector. This is our first virtual EIF. It's also the first EIF to be held under the umbrella of the CAREC Energy Strategy 2030. Now, this strategy has introduced a number of new themes, including the key theme for our meeting today, a dedicated focus on energy efficiency and how to promote it. Now, that strategy was adopted by energy ministers back in 2019 at our last Energy Investment Forum. And at the time, they made a bold commitment, which was to double the energy efficiency in the region by 2030. It's an ambitious commitment, and our meeting today is set up to help to kickstart that process. So let's get started. It's my pleasure to introduce to you for our welcome address, our host from Azerbaijan, the Energy Minister, His Excellency, Mr. Parvez Shahbazov, Your Excellency.
Esteemed Vice President Sheikh Sun Chen, dear Ms. Wilkinson, dear moderator, Ms. Pillay, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to extend my most sincere greetings to you all at the Energy Investment Forum held during the CAREC Chairmanship of Azerbaijan and express my firm belief in the significance of this event for the development of our energy cooperation in line with global development challenges. For 20 years, the CAREC program has been actively contributing to the regional development as a format of cooperation over a large geographical area. Azerbaijan has been supporting the CAREC's regional agenda since 2003. CAREC's mission and its targets overlap with our vision and policy for the region, as well as with the key goals of energy projects and initiatives. In this regard, the CAREC chairmanship is taking place during a historic period for our country. Azerbaijan is realizing significant initiatives to eliminate obstacles to regional cooperation, which have existed for many decades, and to create a secure and wide space for cooperation. These initiatives include the opening of communication channels and establishment of a new transport corridor, along with the restoration and reintegration works in the liberated Karabakh and Eastern Zangezur regions of Azerbaijan. Taken together, these steps are of strategic importance for the sustainable development of the region. Azerbaijan considers the restoration and reconstruction of the liberated territories as an opportunity to strengthen regional cooperation and as a transition to climate-resilient pathways. An excellent showcase in this regard is the vision of the President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, Ilham Aliyev, to transform liberated territories into green energy zone. This unique initiative puts a special emphasis on the application of green technologies, efficient and smart systems at a scale, paving the way for cooperation towards regional energy architecture. I should also know that at COP26 meeting in Glasgow, Azerbaijan declared its intention to see the liberated territories as net zero zone among its nationally determined contributions. Today, at a time when a growing number of alarming calls prioritize environmental issues while ensuring the security of sustainable energy, governments need decisive energy policies. The effects of the current energy crisis also show that a rigid and hasty political rhetoric regarding the energy transition needs to be reconsidered with a touch of a healthier balance between energy security and environmental sustainability. Therefore, we must consider our global responsibilities and obligations for the sustainable future of humankind, along with our efforts to ensure energy access for all. Sustainability of energy supply that depends on only one energy source is unrealistic. As we pursue our ambitious plans and goals with regard to renewable energy and hydrogen without delay, we must take advantage of other ways that lead to net zero emissions. The opportunities offered by innovative technologies, particularly energy efficiency. International experience proves that the energy efficiency embodies the fastest and most cost-effective solutions to reduce carbon emissions. It is no coincidence that energy efficiency is considered the primary fuel of the sustainable global energy system, as it represents the cleanest and often the most affordable way to meet energy needs. Best energy is the energy saved. Improvements in energy efficiency result in environmental, economic, and social benefits, which are key factors for engaging every country in the process. Expectations for energy efficiency are high in the world. The provision envisaging the rapid expansion of energy efficiency measures is included in the recommendations of the COP26 Climate Change Conference. The pace of this process depends on political support as well as funding. According to the estimates of the International Energy Agency, the world's total annual investment in energy efficiency must triple by 2030 to achieve net zero emissions by 2050. In this regard, CAREC program serves as an additional platform and opportunity to access and harness necessary investment and financial support, as well as to benefit from experience and advanced practices. Doubling the level of energy efficiency through the establishment of a reliable, sustainable, and efficient energy market in the region, this decade is a main goal of CAREC's energy strategy by 2030, and we can achieve this by coordinating our efforts with the support of the Asian Development Bank and also other financial institutions. As an active member of the CAREC program, Azerbaijan has taken significant strategic steps this year and has identified priorities for socio-economic development until 2030. These priorities, approved by the presidential decree, provides us with a clear vision for the next decade, including in the energy sector. We envisage our future as a green growth country with a clean environment. To this end, we are not only voluntarily enhancing our ambition to combat climate change, but also reforming the energy sector, improving the legislative and regulatory framework, creating a more conducive environment for the wider use of renewables and green technologies, and successfully attracting foreign investment in the field of green energy. In the coming months, about $500 million worth of foreign investment is expected to be directed into the renewable energy sector through wind and solar energy projects with a total capacity of 470 megawatts. We hope that in the near future, we will succeed in bringing additional inflow of investments into the same sector in Azerbaijan. Ensuring energy efficiency is one of the pillars of our energy strategy. The law on the efficient use of energy resources and energy efficiency adopted this year will have a tangible impact in various sectors of the economy, as well as for households. One of our main goals in the coming years is to achieve high level of energy savings in the areas of supply and consumption, and to reduce losses in transmission and distribution systems down to 2% and 8% respectively. To this end, it is planned to conduct energy audits to ensure energy efficiency, introduce energy efficiency services, provide labeling and certification of buildings, and establish management standards, and last but not least, establish an energy efficiency fund. Of course, all these measures require financial support and a comprehensive cooperation framework. In this regard, the CAREC is a remarkable platform for development energy efficiency initiative at the national level and contributing to regional targets. We hope that forum will produce useful recommendations and will identify pertinent areas of cooperation. I wish you all fruitful discussions and success. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency, Mr. Shahboz, a very clear directive there to all of us about the importance of energy and efficiency and setting clear targets, as you are doing in Azerbaijan. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. And now it's my pleasure to introduce ADB Vice President Xixin Chen. He's going to give us the ADB perspective on the potential for energy efficiency and programs that are underway in the CAREC region. Vice President Chen, with the opening remarks.
Your Excellency, Minister of Energy, Shahbazov, members from the CAREC countries, ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure to extend a warm welcome to all of you on behalf of the Asian Development Bank. We are holding the 5th CAREC Energy Investment Forum today. This is an important milestone in our mission to improve energy sector development and cooperation across the CAREC region. Your presence in such a great numbers confirms the relevance of this forum. The EIF has become the regional flagship initiative for frank dialogue between public and private energy stakeholders in Central Asia. This makes us proud and confident to continue working under the CAREC spirit of common borders, common solutions, and a common energy future. I would like to extend my gratitude to the government of Azerbaijan and specifically to Energy Minister Shahbazov, who has truly left a mark in the CAREC energy program this year. Azerbaijan's 2021 CAREC presidency launched, amongst other issues, a serious thought process on how to increase energy efficiency in the region. Under Azerbaijan's leadership, CAREC members successfully launched the first region-wide energy efficiency awareness campaign. This is a major flagship result and shaped awareness for energy efficiency behavior among an unprecedented number of residential consumers from Tbilisi to Beijing. Under Azerbaijan's leadership, the CAREC energy community also started the conceptualization CAREC Green Energy Alliance. This alliance will soon provide a platform through which investment-ready green projects can be matched with suitable financiers. Our forum today is a hallmark to further support these endeavors by identifying business opportunities in the field of energy efficiency. Ladies and gentlemen, the global energy sector is going through a significant transformation, and this region is no different. In the face of climate change, energy efficiency is one of the most potent tools to decarbonizing the energy sector. This is especially true in Central Asia, which holds some of the world's most energy-intensive economies. Unlike other sectors, energy efficiency technologies exist, are affordable, and offer very good returns on investment. This is why energy efficiency is often labeled the fuel of first choice and the only fuel readily available to improve security of supply, affordability, and environmental protection. According to scenarios developed by the International Energy Agency, energy efficiency can deliver more than 1/3 of the total greenhouse gas emission reductions up to 2050 globally. The potential is even higher within the next 10 years alone, where energy efficiency could contribute to as much as half of the global greenhouse gas abatement. Despite this potential, global progress in energy efficiency has been slowest in the last decade, with only about 1% annual progress globally. Energy efficiency levels in Central Asia are particularly low because of older and aging infrastructure, low energy pricing, and the lack of policy and regulatory support. More efficient energy systems are, however, needed and highly desirable for economic competitiveness and long-term sector sustainability, especially in the context of fast-growing economies of the region. This is why, alongside the rapid deployment of cost-competitive renewable energy, which is already taking shape in the Carrick region, the acceleration of energy efficiency will be among the most promising investment opportunities in the years to come. Distinguished participants, the EIF is a unique knowledge, networking, and the investment event to discuss near-term investment opportunities and link financiers and the project developers. Although we are meeting through a virtual format this year, I urge you to be proactive in forming partnerships and new business connections today. In our estimates, roughly about $400 billion is required to be invested in power infrastructure along over the next 10 years in the Carrick region. This is an exciting business prospect, which public financing alone cannot meet. The region has been successful in attracting private capital across many energy projects, but we have still attained only a fraction of real potential for private investment in the region. The need to significantly scale up private investments was also widely echoed by world leaders at the recent COP26 summit in Glasgow. Thus, we have a lot of ground to cover in a short period of time to bring about investment at scale and address the global agenda under the Paris Agreement and the Sustainable Development Goals. I'm confident that Carrick region is on the right path to develop its energy sector in a sustainable manner, knowing that significant reforms are underway across the region. This is also underpinned by the historical declaration energy ministers of Carrick countries signed during our last EIF in 2019. In this declaration, energy ministers committed to double regional energy efficiency levels until 2030. Ramping up energy efficiency is thus a top regional priority. Discussing this topic today couldn't be more timely following the new global climate pledges made at COP26. ADB will be a strong partner in supporting energy efficiency initiatives. Just a few weeks ago, ADB officially adopted its new energy policy, which seeks accelerate decarbonization of the energy sector. Recognizing the high importance of energy saving, ADB will channel considerable support for energy efficiency measures in the Carrick region and beyond as part of the new energy policy. ADB also launched numerous further groundbreaking decarbonization initiatives at the occasion of the COP26 conference, among which ADB's new flagship energy transition mechanism stands out. The mechanism will help finance the retirement of coal plants and develop green energy to replace them. The EIF 2021 promises to be an exciting forum for good neighbors and good partners that together can achieve good prospects. I'm looking forward to hearing about many exciting new investment and business opportunities created as a result of this forum. We shall always remind ourselves the cheapest source of tomorrow's energy is the energy saved today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Vice President Chan. So we've heard from His Excellency Mr. Shahbazov that energy efficiency embodies the fastest and most cost-effective way to reduce carbon emissions. And Vice President Chan added his opinion that affordable technologies that they are also very good returns on investment in prospect. So what do you think? We'd like to invite all of you now joining us virtually at the EIF to take a short interactive poll. If you look on the right-hand side of your home screen, you will see that there's a poll button, and I'd like to invite you now to click on that poll button, and it will generate for us the first question. Are we ready? Please do click on the poll button for a short interactive poll with just 3 questions. And here comes now the first question that we'd like you to consider. Which of the following sectors is predicted to have the highest potential for saving energy to mid-century? Which of the following sectors will have the highest potential for saving energy to mid-century? Is it buildings and appliances? We've heard quite a lot about that so far. Is it perhaps transport, which we know is responsible for a very large section of greenhouse gas emissions? Or is it industry? Is it heavy industry, manufacturing, and energy production? 3 options we're giving you, ladies and gentlemen. Which sector do you believe? Very interesting now. Almost all of you. I think only one person could have voted because it's 100% for buildings and appliances. Dear ladies and gentlemen, please do take part in this poll. We would like to truly reflect the views of the poll audience. The poll icon is on the right-hand side of your screen. I see somebody else has voted in there, but I think we need to generate considerably more interest in this poll because it's not necessarily obvious what the results are. So buildings and appliances, some people are voting for the transport sector, which, as we know, is a major source of greenhouse gas emissions. Industry is about half of you think that industry is responsible for providing us with the greatest potential for saving energy to mid-century. So we know, we've heard, we have a lot of technologies available. They are cost effective. In which areas are they likely to abate greenhouse gas emissions the most? This is the question before you, ladies and gentlemen. So roughly, I'd say, please keep voting. It's very interesting to see what the wisdom of our group is. So the majority of people, just under 60%, believe that investment in industry is likely to give rise to the greatest abatement of greenhouse gas emissions, and then buildings and appliances for about a quarter of participants, and only 15% believe that the transport sector has the greatest fruit. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have to say that the IEA, the International Energy Agency, actually believes that it's the transport sector that has the greatest potential for delivering energy efficiency. So it just shows how much more there is for us to learn, discover, and set our strategies for in the coming years. It is the transport sector which is considered to have the greatest potential for reducing energy, for increasing energy efficiency and reducing greenhouse gas emissions. So on to our next question now, ladies and gentlemen. How much can energy efficiency contribute to reducing greenhouse gas emissions by 2040? So this is looking at all energy efficiency measures taken together. How much can energy efficiency contribute to reducing greenhouse gas emissions by 2020? And President Chen was talking about this just a minute ago. Do you think it is A, 20%? We might make a significant contribution, reducing global greenhouse gas emissions by 20%. Do you think it's actually quite a minor 15% that energy efficiency measures could deliver? Or do you think it is a highly significant 40% abatement in greenhouse gas emissions, which could be delivered by energy efficiency measures alone? Please do spend a few minutes to think about it. I see the majority of people think it's 40%. A few do think it's actually not very much at all, 20%. And please do keep voting, ladies and gentlemen. This is fascinating. And it also is a good measure of how well you were listening to our ADB Vice President Xi Chen, because he dropped several hints in his opening remarks as to what he thinks energy efficiency can deliver. So I think, ladies and gentlemen, this time you have got the answer spot on. Indeed, it is 40% that the IEA believes can be delivered by a major push of investment into energy efficiency measures. It is a highly significant and highly cost-effective way to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. And we think with a fair wind, we could reduce greenhouse gas emissions by as much as 40% in the next 10, 30 years. Okay, final question for you now, ladies and gentlemen. Energy efficiency investments currently amount to $240 billion globally every year. How much will we need to invest in order to achieve our global climate targets? Do you think we would need to approximately double it to about $500 billion? Do you think we would need to raise it to $600 billion a year? Or do you think we would need to more than triple it to $1 trillion a year in order to achieve our global climate targets? Those are your choices, ladies and gentlemen. How much do we need to increase our investments in energy efficiency? They're currently $240 billion. Do they need to rise to 500, 600, or $1 trillion every year? So I think it's pretty well a dead heat right now between 600 billion and 1 trillion. Would you like to know what the answer is according to the IEA? And there was a big hint dropped in about this by His Excellency Mr. Shahbazov in his opening remarks. Ah, yes, I think we've got it. I think I'm giving you hints. And indeed, the correct answer is that we would need to increase our current energy efficiency investments by more than triple to $1 trillion every year. And indeed, our global wisdom, the wisdom of our virtual audience, has got it right on, banged that answer on the head. So we would need to triple our energy investments in order to meet our global climate targets. And ladies and gentlemen, that is a doable, very doable goal. The energy efficiency targets exist, they are affordable, and they offer very good returns on investment. Thank you so much for taking part in our interactive poll there. Now, I'd like to introduce you to our keynote speaker, who's going to be continuing with these themes, and she is Angela Wilkinson, the Secretary General and CEO of the World Energy Council, talking to us about energy efficiency in the transition to a low-carbon economy. Over to you, Angela. Good to have you with us.
Thank you, Nisha. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, and to everyone online today, a very warm hello from an early morning here in Oxford. As the 6th Secretary General of the World Energy Council, I'm delighted to be part of the 2021 Energy Investment Forum. I'd like to thank His Excellency Minister Shahbazov for the leadership and for hosting this important event, and for the interest of Kazakhstan in joining our world energy community. I look forward to their membership in the Council. I'd also like to thank the Asia Development Bank for inviting me to speak to you this afternoon. My goal is to set the scene and to remind us all that as we talk about energy efficiency, humanizing energy is the best way to avoid the urgency of global energy transition, creating a new threat to global peace. As the world becomes warmer and wobblier, energy is front-page news across the world, and a lot has changed in recent months. And yet what we have learned as a world energy community over the last 100 years is more important than ever. First, energy as a system. Behind every button, switch, and fuel pump is a myriad of connections. Second, energy transition is a process, not a destination, and it can't be delivered all in one go or by focusing on one issue at a time. Third, diversity in energy systems is increasing in the broadest sense, and this presents new possibilities and challenges in energy security and efficiency. Fourth, the future of energy can't be predicted, but it can be co-created if we avoid fear of the future and are open to multiple transition pathways. And fifth, energy transition always involves societal disruption and transformation. Now, these lessons are relevant to today's theme of investing in energy efficiency. Energy efficiency in the current era of energy for people and planet involves multiple efficiency considerations: capital efficiency, technological efficiency, and societal efficiency, allocative efficiency, which bring difficult choices for net zero targets at all levels of society. One of our leadership tools, the World Energy Trilemma Index, provides the means to measure and track national and regional energy transition performance. It enables individual countries to learn with and from each other about what's working and what's not in integrating and actively managing policies on energy security, environmental sustainability, and energy equity and affordability. In energy secure nations, energy efficiency is often seen as the lowest hanging fruit, the fuel of first choice in the drive to net targets. However, careful policy consideration is needed. Europe, for example, is learning how to manage trade-offs in policies on renewables, on energy efficiency, and carbon pricing, as it strives to accelerate the pace of decarbonisation, decentralisation, and digitalisation in its race to become the world's first totally green region. A step change in energy efficiency is an important element of the net zero plans in Korea, China, and the CAREC region, and achieving a tenfold or twofold improvement involves more than technological substitution or a simple process improvement. As recent energy crisis and the global COVID pandemic remind us, narrow efficiency thinking can be destabilizing and undermine resilience. In a new context of affordability and social justice, allocative efficiency, societal efficiency is moving up the political agenda and reshaping the global energy leadership landscape. Now in its 12th year, our World Energy Issues Monitor provides a global reality check and snapshot on what's going on. It clarifies what's keeping energy leaders awake at night and busy during the day. And responses from the Council's community in Asia show that energy efficiency remains a key action priority in the region. This is also the case in other regions, but whilst the topic may be of shared global interests, the solutions will be very different in each geography. As regional and local diversity in energy continues to increase in the broadest sense, multiple energy transition pathways are emerging, and there is no one-size-fits-all approach to resilient and efficient energy systems. This presents an opportunity to rethink energy efficiency and look beyond the gains made in substituting old technology for new to the resilience of the whole, integrated and increasingly hybrid energy systems, which include people and supply chains and connect clean, affordable and reliable molecules to electrons and flexible storage. The whole energy system on which societies depend needs to be resilient to a growing list of shocks and crises: financial, weather, pandemic, cyber, and trust. Looking forward, we need to consider energy system efficiency in the new era of digitalization and distributed electrification. All new technologies promise better lives, and yet experience teaches us that innovation is always a double-edged sword. It's the Council's firm belief, through its humanising energy vision, that people and communities must be at the heart of energy transition if it's to be successful. So the next big thing in energy is not a global technology moonshot, but thousands of smaller steps by cities, communities, and digitally active energy consumers. Improvements in energy efficiency come from people making choices, choosing more productive and efficient energy uses. Those choices rely on energy information that is easy to access and understand, easy to benchmark against best practice, and timely. For this reason, one of the Council's focus areas right now is energy literacy. We cannot build forward together without a step change in energy literacy at all levels of society. Our 100 years of learning in energy is why the theme of the St. Petersburg World Energy Congress next year in October 2022 is Energy for Humanity. In St. Petersburg, we will celebrate the role of communities, countries, and companies in building forward together. So let me conclude with an invitation to see you all in St. Petersburg in October 2022 to share what's been achieved in the Kazakh region in energy efficiency investment and in this decisive decade of delivery, to continue our discussions on humanizing energy. I hope today's forum is an inspiring and informative exchange and wish you a very successful event. Thank you.
Angela, thank you very much for joining us with that excellent presentation. May I just ask you a couple of questions before you leave us, because you brought so much wisdom and inspiration to our meeting. The first thing I've been really intrigued about, really, is why is it, if energy efficiency is such a low-hanging fruit, that investment in energy efficiency lags so behind investment in renewable energy sources? What's going on?
Well, I think that there's a great excitement always about the new for investors. And there's also some trepidation about the new for investors. You know, something that's new and unproven is difficult to invest in. We want guaranteed returns. But something that's like energy efficiency has been around a long time. It's not seen as so bright and shiny, maybe not as exciting, but actually is pivotal and important. And the second bit is it's really important that we understand that we don't throw what I would call the baby out with the bathwater. Improving existing infrastructures is exciting in net zero as new shiny technologies. And I think what you see is that maybe a perception gap, that old isn't as exciting as new.
So communication then is really important, isn't it? Not just for the end user, but also for investors, so that they get the message that the returns on investment can be so good.
Communication is important. And as I said, literacy is important. 20% of the world's energy system is currently electrified, 80% isn't. At the moment, we're seeing investors focus a lot on the renewable technologies for power generation. That's 20%. The other 80% is still missing in action. It's a huge opportunity space that isn't being realized. And so I think if we can increase people's understanding of what the whole system looks like, they will see the full range of opportunities for investment in energy efficiency.
Very interesting point you just made. And in a way, it was reflected in our interactive poll a short while ago, because our virtual audience certainly believed that it wasn't transport that would give the most abatement of greenhouse gas emissions if we focused on it for energy efficiency measures. And that's interesting, isn't it?
Well, I think this is back to our humanising energy agenda and the need to involve people and communities in making choices at all levels of society. You know, we focus a lot on the supply side conversation in energy around generation and production of energy. But actually, what is energy? Energy is about what we use it for. It's productive uses, it's benefits to our lives. And we don't want to destroy the planet. But actually, if we don't put people and choices first, we can't really re-engineer the whole energy system.
Angela Wilkinson, it's been a great pleasure having you with us on the Energy Investment Forum.
Thank you, and best of luck to everybody. I hope it's a fantastic conversation.
Thank you. Angela Wilkinson there, General Secretary and CEO of the World Energy council. And now that pretty well brings our opening ceremony to a conclusion. We're going to give you a short break, and then at the top of the hour, you will have a number of different choices. Let me talk you through them. So in the next 2 hours, we'd like you to invite what we're calling thematic sessions. You'll be able to find them on your home screen. We're going to look at energy efficiency from 4 different angles. In the first hour, you'll have a choice between session 1 and session 2. Session 1 identifies low-hanging fruit, the kind of things we've just heard about from Angela Wilkinson. We're going to look at practical means to achieve energy efficiency in Central Asia. Session 2 discusses the role of utilities in achieving energy efficiency. So it's a spotlight on the utilities sector. So that's in the first hour, starting at the top of the hour. Then in the next hour, again, starting at the top of the hour, we have 2 choices for you. Session 3 is looking at financing mechanisms, finding suitable financing mechanisms and market design to make sure that investors do invest in these measures and get good returns. And session 4 is a new and established technologies to achieve more energy efficiency. So it's a spotlight on technologies, those that already exist, and there are many of them, and new ones too. So we have 4 choices for you. You can dip in and out of them over the next couple of hours, or if you prefer, you can join our cinema series. You'll see the cinema icon on your home screen. It's a Netflix-style selection of videos which showcase energy efficiency projects sponsored by the ADB, together with development partners and governments. And there are some wonderful little movies there. I've enjoyed them already. Please do take a look at them at your leisure. And then in a couple of hours' time, we'll be returning back to this plenary session, and we'd like to unveil our startup competition. We're going to be introducing you to the finalists of our startup competition. They all come from across the CAREC region, and all that and more is still to come here at the Energy Investment Forum. Goodbye for now.